So remember the whole defund the police situation, and it's happening in a lot of these very left-leaning cities, right? San Francisco, you got San Jose, San Diego, for example. I mean, the defund the police thing in San Francisco is especially big because they actually took over $100 million away from the police budget. And essentially, they started firing off a bunch of police officers. So San Francisco Police Department is pretty much down 600 to 700 officers, which in a small, compact space like San Francisco, if you have an extra 600 or 700 police officers, it does make a pretty big difference. We're not talking about 60 or 70 cops. 600 to 700 cop shortage. That's insane. And this is one of the reasons why crime has shot up. Because there's barely any cops, right? So there's going to be robberies, shoplifting. Those are not going to be classified as important duties. It's going to be the super violent crimes and crimes that involve like a lot of people. Those are going to be the ones that the police department is going to look at. Not small shoplifting, not tents, not defecation on the sidewalk. And this is why so many business owners are leaving. They're fed up with this kind of situation. And it's so bad that Walgreens is putting chains on freezers because their stores get shoplifted 20 times a day. And I guarantee you, they probably stopped calling the police because police have their hands full. They can't investigate every single shoplifting incident because there's hundreds of shoplifting incidents every single day in San Francisco. And they're down like 600 cops. How can they just manage all these things? They can't. So they have priorities. So this is why crime has shot up like crazy in San Francisco. And you know what's funny? There's even videos out there showing a lot of people who used to vote for this are now very, very unsatisfied of what's happening. Because if you check this out, crime has shot up. San Francisco Police Unit Chief blames defund movement for city's lawlessness because the defund movement sparked the city's decade-low police recruitment. Nobody wants to be cops. And they've even increased the salaries to like 100 G's. And nobody wants to be cops either. And right now, criminals are just going around just stealing stuff and all this different stuff because, hey, when you take away $120 million from the police department, yeah, no wonder crime shot up 1,000%. Here's the thing. In San Francisco, robberies and also theft, shoplifting, break into vehicles, you probably get like a talk. You probably sit down for a couple of days and then they let you leave. Sometimes they just, if there's arrest, that's an if. They bring you in, sit you down, and then you're out within a few hours. That's usually how it is. And by the way, under $450 theft is a misdemeanor. Guys, under like $950 worth of theft being a misdemeanor is crazy to me, right? If you go to Singapore and you steal almost $1,000 worth of things, that's almost 7 years in jail. But in San Francisco, it's a misdemeanor, and you just get away scot-free. That is insanity. No wonder people would just go to Walgreens, steal a few pizzas, steal a few pieces of candy, and leave. There's no consequences. You just steal things, you leave. And plus, some people steal massive, big-ticket items, and nothing's being done anyway. I mean, check this out. SFPD, San Francisco Police Department, response times are among the slowest in 6 years. And this is a reason why crime is up so much. Break-ins of cars is astronomically high. It's so bad that even rental car companies just want to leave. Because there's a rental car company that rented out 250 cars for a month. 25 cars came back with their windows and front pieces of glass broken in. And those are going to be cars that are going to be not in commission for 2 to 3 weeks, and the repair bills are crazy expensive. And has anything been done to solve this issue? Are people getting arrested for this kind of situation? No, nobody's getting arrested. Nobody's getting punishment. It really amazes me that San Francisco hasn't fully collapsed yet. I mean, big companies are already leaving at one of the fastest paces anywhere in the world. But at the same time, you know, you also have a few companies like Chanel and IKEA moving in. And those companies are definitely going to regret it the moment they set foot into San Francisco. Because you don't want to be in a city where crime is happening at very, very fast paces. But what's worse about that isn't a crime. It's that there's just no response to it. So the people who rob stores, they rob 1, they rob 2, they rob 3, see no consequences, they just keep going. They just keep going to town. And that's what's happening. And people are even saying that Oakland's 911 is just a joke at this point. I mean, when you call 911, you want a fast, quick response, not being on hold for a few minutes. That's 911 in Oakland, guys. If you want to call 911 in Oakland, you're probably going to be on the line for a while. And that's basically like calling Chase or calling Bank of America. This is like an emergency. So Oakland's emergency situation has also collapsed. Their 911 system was in jeopardy for like a day or two, which is, in my opinion, unacceptable. They're very, very understaffed in the 911 area. Not to mention the cops are also very understaffed. Like I said before, the whole defund the police situation is absolutely destroying San Francisco. And it's crazy to see people just go all out on this. And hey, a lot of people don't want to admit it, but they're regretting this defund the police situation a lot. You already see a lot of people who used to vote for this are now turning their backs to it. They don't want to vote for this anymore. And now the city is actually slowly pouring money back into the police department, but the damage has been done. Crazy amounts of shoplifting. Salesforce, Slack, Facebook, Uber, Lyft have all cut down their headquarters, and some companies have straight up left for Las Vegas, Austin, Miami. This is San Francisco. They did this to themselves, all right? They have no one else to blame. The city had everything going for them. They have some of the best offices, best parks, best nightlife, a lot of tech employees, and they absolutely just threw it on the floor and burnt it. I mean, if they just governed San Francisco normally without any sort of special spice, the city will flourish really, really well. I mean, you don't even have to clean up the open air drug markets. Just govern it normally, actually have power in the laws, like actually enforce the laws, not even 100%, like 70%. And I guarantee you so many other startups are going to start flocking back into San Francisco. But for some reason, they just want to do this weird stuff, like $950 is a misdemeanor, and also you could urinate on the streets and that's legal. I don't get this stuff. I really don't. I mean, if you go to a lot of Asian countries, like if you go to like Asian cities like Tokyo, Seoul, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Singapore, like their laws are very strict. They uphold their laws very strictly. That's why you don't see open air drug markets there. This is why you don't see people just do these massive robberies, because they immediately get arrested within just a few hours. But of course, San Francisco, these guys will probably keep doing it again. And the local Fendi store, of course, lost $70,000 worth of merchandise. And Gucci store is getting robbed, Burberry store is getting robbed, Louis Vuitton store is getting robbed. And I'm surprised that Chanel has the balls to actually go to San Francisco. I'm surprised IKEA has the heart and pretty much appetite to join into the San Francisco market. If I'm a store owner, I don't want to go to San Francisco. Even though they're offering me up to $50,000 to open a store, there is no way I'm going to this area. And small business owners are just frustrated with the crime, homelessness, and all of them are considering leaving San Francisco. This is why you see streets like Valencia Street being empty. You see streets near the Chinatown, tourism area, like Powell Street being empty. Union Square is super empty as well. It's just emptiness everywhere. They lost 150,000 office workers. There's barely any tourism. The tourism industry is collapsing in San Francisco, and it's just getting worse every single day. Nothing is getting better. It's only getting worse, guys. So get ready for more crazy San Francisco news, and like, comment, and subscribe.